Tonight, hey, Billy, can you...
You're listening to the Doug Stanhope Podcast.
Good games today. Good matches.
Yeah. Boy, that last second with Argentina.
How are you listening? You're listening to like
I just watched
Sirius?
the score update.
Oh.
Did you ever hear of
watch the stock market?
I guess it's a show now, but it was on HBO, the Bryant Gumbel Sports HBO show. It's two men in blazers.
Yeah.
They're two weird British guys, but they're American, from Britain. And they have like the biggest fucking podcast. And don't worry, people, we're going to start doing that. We're going to actually put effort into this fucking thing. Once I'm done with my last 4 shows, that's my gin fizz with egg whites being made. Found that for the first time overseas.
It's Men with Blazers on MSNBC or no, NBC SD? Oh, NBC Sports. I don't know what the fuck. Well, I don't know what the difference is. Men in Blazers podcast is what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
I have plans for the future of this podcast.
Does this mean we're getting Blazers? Because I know you have a Pacer.
Have we? Yeah, that fucking Pacer's burning out in the sun.
I know. You should get a
They
garage.
promised me a garage. They didn't promise me, but someone found a garage the other night after, fucking 11 hours of playing poker. Yeah.
No,
The guy, Gabe said, the guy says it's great to call him tomorrow evening. It's a friend of Gabe's or a relative. Mm-hmm. But he texted me that without a phone number. And then finally he texted me a phone number, and I texted the guy that has the garage, and he says, fucking, what's his name that sells cars at the Circle? He goes, James is looking for the keys. And you go, all right, if I'm having to count on James, because we uncovered it the other night to show someone, and that car cover's a motherfucker to put back on. So I've been driving it the last couple of days, but this sun, is fucking destroying that.
That's a theft deterrent. A car cover that's hard to get off. You hear
I didn't want to put it back on and then have the guy go, oh, here's the garage is open, bring it down. So now it just sits there rotting in the sun because I'm too lazy. Yeah. But I get Gump left his glasses here. So I said, hey, if you want your glasses back, come over and put my fucking Pacer car cover back on.
Mm-hmm. And take all metal objects out of your pockets.
I bought him the fucking glasses and he leaves them here.
I love that Doug's whole idea of like the car burning up. It's not like leaving a baby in the sun.
No, it is.
Oh,
but he leaves
80% glass.
But he leaves he parks it out on the street, and then he leaves the windows down all night.
I leave the windows down during the day because they
were down overnight.
I got Derek when he came over drunk after another divorce night. That's 2 in a row. Derek's been over here. It's over between us. I go, well, if you're gonna come over here and fucking drink, sad talk us every night and drink all our alcohol and then sleep in the rape trailer, well, you fucking do something. Go roll up my Pacer windows. I forgot. All right.
He's not sleeping in it, is he? The Pacer?
We don't know. There's enough cars out there. You'd think you'd find something roomier, but he's still not that bright.
Navajo seats are comfortable.
Yeah. Hey, the windows are open in this one.
But my point being, I don't think rolling the windows down is preserving the car in any way. In the desert sun here, it is what it is.
If you were sitting in that car right now at 93 degrees with direct sunlight, would you have the windows up or down?
We should do it like flatliners. Let's sit in the car with the windows up and see who can go the longest.
I did that once. You might have been around for that. I had a gig in Fresno. And I had that Dodge Neon, and I drove from LA to Fresno with the windows up and the heat on just to see how long I could take it. I didn't know at that point it was really dangerous. You could
pass out.
Doing that.
Yeah.
You're fucking
die. You could just.
I thought I was just sweating off weight, and I got out. I think it's like 2.5 hours, and I'd only crack the window when I was smoking, and I'd crack it a little bit, and my shoes were squishing when I walked into the hotel room. I was that wet. It was.
The news story would be great if we all fucking died of heat stroke in a pacer.
Yeah, I could do it. I could do 25
that we could have
minutes.
easily gotten out of.
Where's the door locks? I don't know. It's a pacer. I wasn't born yet. I don't know.
Morons die in a car nobody's heard of.
Called 911 twice.
I wrote when I first got it, we were shit faced, and I rode in the back, and even with all those windows in the back seat of that, my claustrophobia has hit a fucking level. In the UK, there was twice where once it was like a shuttle bus to the airport, but basically like the Suburban where I was wedged in the back seat, and then two people started getting in where I don't have a door next to me, and the row in front of me is full, and this row is about to fill up, and I went, I'm sorry, I got to get out. I can't do this. And I was going to catch the next one, but the front seat was open. But another time I was like getting in elevators over there are like fucking phone booths. Like sometimes you can't get your luggage in with the three of us and our luggage. At every elevator, I was panicked. And one of them in one of the old shithole hotels that we stayed in before Bingo, I got on and it's only 2 floors up, and it just slowly, we're jammed in with a bunch of old people. And I almost took the stairs, but I was too lazy with my bags. And we got down to ground floor, and it stopped, and the doors, it jiggled but didn't open. Oh, shit. And they're making jokes about, oh, what did I hit the wrong button? And I'm fucking immediately about to reach for my carry-on out of my backpack and just start drinking and taking Xanax because there's no, like, I always check the escape hatch in the roof. And for a minute, it was maybe 5 seconds that I was mentally stuck in an elevator, and then it opened. And just that, I walked off fucking shaking. My fucking voice is quivering when I'm talking to Hennigan. It's bad.
Do you really think that you could pull yourself up through a hatch in an elevator?
Yeah, retard
When you
strength.
could barely get
Fuck
your
yeah.
carry-on bag up to get your booze out of it?
I pictured him climbing over the top of all the other people
Yeah,
in the
old people.
elevator.
Killing everyone and piling them up like a monkey,
yeah.
like with the crates to catch the banana.
I would mentally do that in every elevator that I had to share with someone. I go, okay,
Figure out how you'd stack the old people.
Is this...
or all right, no one in here could like boost me up, do the foot boost with their hands. I could stand on that guy's strong enough. I could stand on his back. Oh, good. This is a maintenance guy. He's got tools. I'm going through it.
Is your subconscious telling you to prepare for a Thai prison? Because it's starting to sound like it.
It's it crosses my mind.
What else did you do in the UK besides worry?
I showed up sick as fuck. It was, I don't know where. Oh, it was like when Bingo and I were going to Hawaii, and I spent you had just gotten into town. Becker had just come in with Becky and came to say, hey, I couldn't even fucking move to wave at you. I was like, if I move at all, I'm going to puke. I had the sweats, the shits, the pukes. But fortunately, I was there 4 days early to do press and stuff, so I had time to get it out of my system.
In the UK.
Yeah. Which, I don't know if I get sick over there a lot.
But you had
And I
2
never get
days
sick.
off between Canada and the UK. 2 days and a half, and then we went to Tucson, dropped you off. So yeah, that was running pretty hard.
And yeah, the flights. I can't play like with my lifestyle. All right, if I'm vomiting and shitting water, 15 shits in 3 hours, what do I blame it on? Airplane food? So yeah, this was the best UK run I've ever done, and it was still shit.
I was gonna say that's the most complimentary thing I've heard you say about the UK since you've been
No,
home.
your posts were amazing because you said, I thought they were pranking me. They were so nice and polite.
In the shitty towns,
Yeah.
like all the
not in the big ones because you were
the
talking
places
about
that are normally fucking chaos. Glasgow, where the last time I played, there was a full-on brawl between the second row center and third row center because someone thought the other one was talking too loud, and they just 6-7 people fucking going at it. That was when Frankie Boyle was at, and I still hadn't met him at that point, but I knew what he looked like. And like 4 seats down from the fight, that guy looks just like Frankie Boyle, but I'm trying to quell a fist fight, so I'm not going to start chatting. But that was the one where nobody around the fight was looking at the fight. It's so normal in Glasgow that they'd actually rather watch comedy than a live brawl.
Maybe those guys bought half show tickets. They knew they were going to get ejected halfway through.
Joe Rogan could double dip over there.
That was always my joke. That's my my dream bucket list is to sell out the same show twice. Because every show there's fucking ejections.
Yeah, one in, one out, like they do at clubs. Yeah.
Hey, it says it's sold out. Is there any way I can get tickets? Yeah. Hang out front and wait for a guy to get thrown out the fire exit and then go buy his ticket.
Sell 2 more, print 2 more tickets.
That's great.
But the smaller towns, well, there's still cities. And I don't know the fucking difference. I don't know. If I was in Newcastle and you told me it was Leeds, how the fuck am I going to know? They're all exactly the same, but I know the ones, Glasgow.
Well, I got
Dublin,
the list. I got the list here. Brixton, Glasgow, Newcastle, Leeds, Birmingham, Dublin, Manchester, London, Bath.
But the ones that are notoriously rowdy as fuck are Glasgow and Dublin and Manchester. And those were the most polite. And even those, I'm getting emails afterwards. Sorry for all the dickheads. And I'm going, you should have been at the fucking Newcastle show. I was thanking people after, and you're complaining, but I think it was Newcastle. One of them, a guy came right up to the stage with what looked like it had to be a joint. And this is a theater. It's like that old.
Seated?
Yeah, seated theater. Where everyone's like, there's fucking monsters in the back. They're just drunk and trying to have conversations with you. It's not like hecklers. They're the nouveau, Stanhope shithead ejections where they're just too drunk.
We'll get to that. That's on the notes.
All right, I'll get to that. He handed me a joint.
Like reaching up to the stage?
Yeah, in the middle of a bit where like I'm just getting traction on a long bit and he's standing there with it and then throws it to me and then throws a lighter at me. And I go, just fucking sit down. And then 2 security guys come over to walk him away. They weren't going to throw him out. But as soon as they walked up to him, he does the, I'm not resisting.
Flailing.
They have to fucking literally pick him up, fucking shoulders and legs and fuck right out the side door. And like, what the fuck is, and I was tweeting, hey, fucking, I don't know if you saw, there was one day where every tweet I get, 1:00 in the afternoon, having a Negroni. Yeah. By the way, we don't drink Negronis anymore. That was a passing phase. We
realize how dangerous they are.
Yeah.
Disgusting as well.
Yeah, they are. It was fun for a while.
No, I remember that. Someone
dancing.
Someone tweeted a picture of a perfectly made Negroni and said, starting off for the show. And it was like 11 or 12
in the afternoon. It was 7 hours before the show. Then 2 hours later, someone double fisting. And I'm like, please, fucking pace yourselves.
Because you got to turn up the heat. It's still 2 hours.
And it got to the point where when that guy was being thrown out, I Frankie Boiled it. Like at that point, I had so many violent ejections. Most of them I didn't even know about till after the show. Because when they're up in the balcony, you get 1,200 people. I can see the first 6 rows maybe, and half of the 3 through 6 are shadows and silhouettes. So I'd find out later about shit in the balcony that people just got thrown out for fucking
That's
talking.
just noises in the dark at that point.
Yeah, you just plow through that. But when that guy's being like just right in front of you, this violent scuffle with security, I go, well, that happened, and I just went right back into whatever. I was so, dull to it.
You wonder, though, if maybe the people from the old previous bad shows didn't travel to go to what would have been your good shows. And then they were at that. And then the people went, we should go there to see the show because they're sold out at the good shows. But because at the soccer game now, at the World Cup, they have the face recognition for all the hooligans. So maybe they were afraid you were using face recognition. They wouldn't be allowed in the other show.
I did have someone say that we came to see say Birmingham, and then we came to the Bath show because we were so drunk we don't remember the first show. This fucking one guy right off the bat, we had to do press when I got there, which consisted of one interview for some, I don't fucking know, and 3 podcasts, other people's. And the one guy, Steve McCann was his name, and he was so goofy. Like, everyone else had equipment, at least small basic equipment. He says, "Oh, I just do it on my phone," which was smashed. Screen is cracked. And he was so just talking, and where afterwards, it was a nice enough guy, I guess. And we were drinking. It was the last podcast of 3. So I was pretty hammered and he was drinking, but afterwards, I'm going, I don't think that guy had a podcast. I think he bullshitted our PR person into saying he had one. Because I had someone email me going, "Hey, while you're in wherever, Manchester, can I interview you? You're my favorite comic." It's not for anything, but I thought it would be really cool to interview. That's just like saying, I want to hang out with you and ask you a lot of fucking questions.
Under the guise of something that may be used, but they also said
but
it's
he
for
won.
nothing.
He
But he said it's for nothing.
Not for
He
anything.
wins. He wins. He got into the White House. You're a dick. He got in. You didn't question a broken phone and no service in English.
That's what I started thinking. Maybe it's that guy. And after the Brixton show, we were doing the fucking dine and dash where Hennigan has a car waiting out back.
Oh, the UK exit.
Yeah. And they're still clapping while you're halfway to the hotel. And we got to this hotel we were staying at midnight-ish. And that fucking Steve McCann guy and one of his buddies are waiting in the lobby, shit-faced, like just camped out because he had already interviewed me there. So he knew what room I was in. He knew what hotel I was in. And he's like, "Hey, man." And I'm like, at this point, I'm in no fucking mood. And I go, "What?" And he's like, "Don't you remember me?" I go, "Yeah, but why are you fucking stalking me in my fucking lobby?" Like, I'm going, "Oh, man, can you give me a quote for my Edinburgh?" And I'm going to bed. And he's like, "Man." So we just bail, say, we're out of here. And we go to our room. We've switched rooms since the one that we podcasted in, but we're just down the hall. And we hear him and his buddy talking really loud in the hall. And they're banging on the door of that room. Hennigan peeks out, sees it's them. So we call hotel security. Then we listen, and they're telling hotel security that that's their room and they're staying in the hotel, and they pitched them. But I was talking about that somewhere, and someone heard the story and sent me an email yesterday saying, "Is it true what I heard about Steve McCann? You know, it's a real podcast. We found that out. And he has some, show he does. I don't know if it's open mic, but a weekly show comedy show he runs. But he's got like some scandalous accusations where I don't know if they're true or not, so I won't repeat them, but they're of the current ilk. And so yeah, he's a known creep, evidently. Fucking creeped me out.
Well, he checked a couple boxes on your story right there.
But how great for switching rooms, huh? Mm-hmm. It was like, that's brilliant.
Well, we had left and done other gigs in Nottingham and Glasgow and came back to that. It was the Hilton at Paddington Square. That was the fucking great part of the tour, is we were staying mostly in train station hotels because we're training everywhere. So you get off the train, right into the hotel, do the gig, Uber back.
Similar to the Canadian airport hotels?
Yes.
So
very similar.
All the necessities are there. You've got sundry items at a pharmacy. There's a liquor store, everything.
Except you don't have to go through security to get on a train. And I fucking love a train.
Is the train like the little video that you had of the little cramped space with the bathroom and
that was a hotel.
that was the Yotel. I'll get to that.
Oh, no, that's a whole other thing.
Okay.
I'm writing that down because I want to hear about
the
it.
other. The other
I
great
wanted to hear
thing
about that,
is
too.
almost every train station hotel we found a Yo Sushi, and I don't know if they have. I think those might only be UK, but it's a chain, but it's conveyor belt sushi, and they have really good. So you can fucking eat and run. You don't have to order and wait for it. You just grab the plate. This plate's that much. This color plate's that much. And you fucking wolf it down. So that was one of the good things.
Yo Sushi's a chain. They're also in America, by the way.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I thought.
I think it was when we went to Florida. I think Tracy was the one that took us over to the place where it was like on a fucking river that went all around, and all the sushi just floats around. I'd never seen anything like that.
Yeah, they combined it with the bidet. It's brilliant. Actually, it's a money saver.
That's gray water. You don't want to dip your fingers in that. That's gray
eating the
water.
top, not the bottom.
When it goes backwards, you don't want to eat any of that sushi. If it's flowing backwards, get away.
There's a guy in Amsterdam who found me. I was smoking outside my hotel right near the gig on a patio, and hey, I'm coming to see your show, and his eyes are so fucking glassy, and he's this big fucking spindly guy with the tribal tattoos. Is it cool if my buddy and I drink with you? And I go, I'm going upstairs right now. I just came out for a cigarette where I wasn't. I was going to sit out there all fucking day reading my book. And that night I've been telling the goat cheese micro penis jerk off story on stage here and again. And when and this is a small club. This is Amsterdam. You've been to Toomler's. Fucking love that club.
We almost Toomler's is where we were almost going to all be incarcerated.
Yeah, the lady that produced that TV show was at the show. We did a TV show with me and a mixed bill comedy show with me and Christine Levine and Brett Erickson and
Andy Andrist.
At some point, someone gave me Coke, and I did some in the bathroom while Erickson's on stage being filmed, and then I came out and gave him a bump on stage. And they had to convince the producers that it was all just part of the act.
You turned your backs to the crowd during a live show in the spotlight.
Who would do that for real? Come on.
I mean, don't you understand art?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
so anyway, this guy, while I'm telling the micro penis story, the same guy just fucking walks right up on stage, towering over me, and pulls his fucking pants down to his ankles to show me his dick, which wasn't even a micro penis. So it's just, here's my dick. And
it's hard to throw a guy like that out.
Well, no one did, because I didn't really react. Again, I'm fucking numb, and I'm like, I don't know what your point is. And he just kind of sheepishly walked back down to his seat, and no one from the staff talked to him. No one. It was
the most embarrassing day of his life.
He thought, the embarrassment was punishment enough, I guess. He thought he was going to get a big laugh. And
I'm going to kill. This is going to make the nightly news.
See, that's why you need to travel with a trombonist.
Well, remember when we were shit-faced doing that music festival in Holland?
Oh, yeah.
Or in Netherlands, Rotterdam, or some fucking place. It's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Big music festival, and we were shit-faced and thought it would be funny to go out naked on stage, and no one cares because it's Amsterdam, and they're fucking naked all the time, and it's not a big deal. They have fucking whores naked in windows, hoping you buy them and shit.
Hey, how much for the window?
We were basically that guy.
Yeah.
During that show. Like, who cares?
Oh, good point.
Fucking.
We weren't embarrassed because we were naked. We were embarrassed because it wasn't funny. As it turned out. I thought it was really clever. We did the whole Benny Hill thing where we chased Christine Levine naked across the stage, and then in the wings, we ran out after her. She chased us. We thought about it. We thought about it. Yeah, well,
it's funny for us. It's boring to them, but we don't get to do that.
It's a lot easier to be embarrassed as a group than it is as an individual, though.
It's true.
But that's when I tweeted someone said, is Chad Shank going to be on the tour? And I said, if he was on this tour, his back would be sore from throwing people off of balconies. A couple times I was getting just violent where I'm like, you just suck at fucking drinking. And I wish someone would just Suge Knight you over that fucking balcony by your ankles. And then later at night, I'd go, I shouldn't say shit like that. Cause if someone did, yeah. I don't know how good my insurance is over there. There was one guy that came out after a show and we're waiting for an Uber. The Uber wasn't waiting where it should be. Kill the headlights and keep it in neutral. So I'm smoking. There's still some stragglers out there. And this guy, big fucking bloke, as they say, is just talking shit. And, he said, yeah, well, sorry to say it, your support act sucked. I had fucking great comics. Like Glenn Wool was on a couple shows. Oh, wow. Bobby Mayer was on a show. It was fucking really funny. And I go, well, then you just you're just not good at comedy then if you don't understand that that's great. And they fucking killed. But he's just trying to be a shithead. He goes, no, I'm sorry, your fucking support was fucking shite. He goes, you were hit and miss, but he was shite. And I was like, I was going to fucking hit the guy where I mean, it would have bounced off.
It would just irritated him.
Yeah. But I mean, you're
like that all natural pepper spray.
And then he goes on to say, I was the guy that gave you shit at this show 7 years ago at Leicester Square or something like, oh, you were that guy that gave me shit. You heckled me. So that's his thing. I wanted to fucking punch a lot of people. Yeah. Hey, fuck you, Mopar head. I don't know if you talk to him on Twitter all the time. He's one of our Twitter regulars.
Sounds familiar.
But I had a couple of well, here's some great people. It was a cancer lady. It was dying of cancer when we booked this stuff and said, I can't afford it. And I go, well, if you're alive then, email me that day and I'll get you into the show. And she was alive, so I got her into the show, and which was it worked in with the whole Laura Kimball story, which I tell on stage. I don't know the last time you saw my act, but about at one point I mentioned how the last time we saw her, I know I'm not going to see her again because her head's so swollen from the chemo and the steroids that it's this big bloated pumpkin, and I say it looked like Joe Rogan's head. And this fucking Mopar head on Twitter tweets to someone, oh, Doug Stanhope says Joe Rogan's head is a big balloon from steroids. Is that true?
Fucking out of context.
And just trying to be a fucking little Twitter narc, trying to start fights. Oh, I know something someone said about you. I want to get in. First of all, no, her head looked like that. It looked like Joe Rogan's head, but she was the steroids
without the body.
Chemo.
Yeah, without the body, go with it.
Another suicide girl. I'm going to commit suicide after your show. And I'm like, really.
Did you go long?
But it was at the same show as.
That's the tweet.
That's
Mopar head.
Oh, yeah, he's still going on about it. He still wants I just called him a fucking little Twitter rat, and I was going to block him, but he's been around for a while. But fuck off. Troublemaker. I was trying to get suicide. I forgot about Suicide Girl till afterwards because I got Cancer Girl to come back into the green room and say hi. But I was going to get Suicide Girl and Dying of Cancer Girl together and go, yeah, why don't you two talk? Tell her how shitty your life is, 23-year-old girl that's going to commit suicide. Talk to Mrs. I have a month to live.
Every moment is precious.
Lynn, don't kill yourself.
Can I have your apartment?
Hey, Doug, I just found out there's a Yo Sushi 1.5 miles from your New York gig at the Sony Hall.
1.5 miles in New York.
Well, I know. It'll take 3 hours.
Do they deliver?
But yeah. But, I mean, you'll be there a couple of days. Well, you'll be a day early. So.
Yeah, and I want to walk around and see the sights anyway.
Yeah.
I'll be in my fucking hotel the entire time.
When Becker asked if they delivered, I just pictured sushi floating down like the sewage.
No, you just throw it in. What river are you near? Yeah. That's mine, sir. Don't touch that.
God, the fucking Birmingham train station. You'd walk out and it was literally Walking Dead. And I was asking what's the fucking drug? Like, are they crackhead? Because they literally looked unearthed. They were gray. Like, are they paint huffers? Because you know how that
chimney sweeps.
Sketchy spice is the fucking drug.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah. And the first one who said it, I thought they were making that up. And someone else said, no, it's spice. Like, that's what fucking Lipsky was on, I think, when he fucking crashed into those people in the
Pike Market.
Pike's Market.
That's killed a couple of my kids that my kids went to school with here locally. That shit's fucking bad. Just
fucking wandering dead. I would make blocking patterns to get to the Yo Sushi. It was in the bus station, which is train station. They're in big cities like that. They're malls basically, and then they're attached to the trains. And I just map out, okay, I got Japanese tourists to my left. I can use those as blockers, and then I can cross here, go up, get away from that guy on the street with the fucking pit bull, go around, and then if I use this bank of stairs, all the other ones are working the tourists. It's fucking scary people.
It's so much fun to just walk straight and hope somebody doesn't get out of your way.
Yeah, I would have overused you if you were with me on that tour. All right, let me read an email.
I hope this motherfucker doesn't move. Don't move, motherfucker.
Kitty's just been walking the train station with both arms out, like clotheslining everybody in the way. Hey, complete walking path.
Total John Wick, like mapping out everything. There's a pit bull there. I can throw the pit bull at the other guy. It'll attack him. He'll release the briefcase. I can use the briefcase to slice that lady in half.
Roll across the floor to the other side of the room.
There was a fucking
train's late. Fuck.
I gotta go back.
There was a guy when we were coming off a train coming in, and those train stations are mobbed, pedestrian fucking mobbed. And I understood this guy, like, just pay attention and get the fuck out of the way. Know where you're going. Don't stop in the middle to look. Where's my platform? Get the fuck out of the. And this monster guy was like luggaged up. He had massive amounts of luggage, and he was a massive, like, monster-ish looking, not like built guy, like a fucking Sasquatchy
Andre the Giant.
Ogre.
And some guy that wasn't paying attention, he just fucking shoulder jacked this guy like he was stunned, and he just kept going, fucking muttering under his breath. And the other guy, like, it wasn't too stunned to, like, should I retaliate? It's too late. And what the fuck? Hennigan was right beside me. I go, you didn't see that? The guy today. He's like, everybody was staring at this. I don't think Hennigan's fucking eye surgery worked.
Didn't take.
He always makes me read, what does it say? Well, you just follow the signs to the hotel. I don't see them. You had perfect vision after that.
I think it's passive aggressive. He's making you dance.
Hysterical blindness.
We're past our mark. I'm not going to give your last name, Ggreg, but Ggreg was at the Apollo gig. Dear Doug, after listening to numerous podcasts and being warned about early drinking before a show, I still use the excuse of the World Cup to start drinking beers at 11 a.m. Arrived in London around 5 for dinner with wine, and once you switch to wine, it's hard to go back to beer. Wow, you're really fucking hitting both ends of that. Made it to the gig in good time, but decided to carry on with the wine. I remember bits of the opening act, and by the time you came on stage, I could see two of you. In the confusion, I couldn't focus on what you had to say and had to leave around the half-hour mark. Why the email? Just to say you were right. Don't start drinking so early. You looked great last night, mate. The both of you that I saw on stage.
He's a duo now.
It'd be weird if one guy was wearing shorts and the other was wearing his.
So yeah, let's take a break so we can make drinks too early. Hey, this is Doug Stanhope for Sabra Hummus. Did you notice that Sabra had a giant recall for an outbreak of listeria? Did that queer you off of Sabra Hummus? Then you're a fucking cunt. You're a pussy. Sabra Hummus is better than any other store brand hummus without listeria. I'd rather eat straight listeria than stray from my branding of Sabra Hummus. I would eat Sabra Hummus if there was a curdled pile of baby shit in the middle, which is actually better than the garlic flavor. Or the pine nut. What are you fucking thinking with the pine nuts? Hey, Listeria sabra. Better than pine nut or garlic. But the fucking one with the olive is great. I can't get it at my store. So take a hint from someone who knows.
I'm Amy Bing Bong Butter Cheese Bingaman, and I eat listeria and dream about hummus even being part of it. I'll eat.
All right, forget it.
I'll eat straight malaria from the anus of a dead dingo, just on the hopes it tastes as good as sour hummus. So listeria it up, kids. That's what I was born to do.
I'm waiting for the shake.
The what?
Since I said we're leaving a drink, so we'll start with the shake. Yeah. That sounds like a drink. Fucking again, no ice anywhere in the UK. If hollow, if they
worse
had
than
it.
no ice. You said hollow ice.
There's one time the train didn't have ice once, and they have cocktails.
Yeah.
Like, how do you have fucking cocktails and no ice?
They make
One time they oversold a train, and I guess they just keep selling tickets, and people on a long distance train are sitting like in the space between trains and in front of like bathrooms, sitting on
like in
squatting.
India when they're all hanging off the train. It's just they've got bowler hats and luggage.
Well, at least we're not hanging out the window like those savages.
Pip, pip. Hold on.
I want to plug Toppings Bookstore in Bath. Toppings, they had some books of mine, and I went down. Bath is the only city in London where I know where I am because it's very tiny and quaint, and it's fun to walk around. And they go, hey, you said, don't forget on Twitter, come down and sign these books. I forget I had said I would.
Oh.
But so I went down. If you live in Bath, you go just up past the Pig and Fiddle and up the hill and take the right, and it's on your right. So yeah, that's I went down and I needed a book. I got 3 book recommendations of the ones the 5 I read, 3 I remember. One I got was called Dog Rounds, and it's about fighters who've killed other fighters in the ring, and it's really good. That's the one that I was crying to when I tweeted. I was at that same patio bar in Amsterdam, and I welled up with tears because a lot of people in comas and stuff that shit's still right under the surface. I don't ever think about it, but once I read something like that and I start getting teary, and that's when that weird cat came out of nowhere. Punchy, I named him because I was reading a boxing book, and he hung out with me on the patio. So yeah, that book I bought in Heathrow, and then I lost. I was like 2/3 of the way through, and this book is fucking great. And I looked everywhere for it. That was the other reason I decided to go down and sign those books, is to see if they had Dog Rounds, because I got to finish the fucking book. But they didn't have it, but they had my book. And he recommended a book that I'm reading now by Adam Kay. It's called This Is Gonna Hurt. He's an emergency room doctor, and it's kind of like Bingo's book, where these diary entries from his 6 years and like shit that I read to Chaille on purpose just to try to make him puke. A guy who had tried to jump from a roof and slide down the pole to get to his friends drunk, and didn't realize how rough the pole was. And not only did he take the skin off his hands, it degloved his penis.
Oh.
And he said what was left looked like when spaghetti is stuck to the bottom of the bowl with some marinara sauce. And the guy asked if they could re-glove his penis, and he had to explain to him that his penis is smeared down 8 feet of telephone pole. And
like a thin layer.
But if that happens, you don't need your hands anymore.
You just have to figure out, you want to cut off at the wrist or the elbow? What's better for you? You got long sleeve shirts or short sleeves?
You play tennis?
But it's not just disgusting stories. The guy is really fucking funny.
You like his writing.
Oh, yeah. I was reading shit out loud all day yesterday to everyone who was sitting around me. Not just the disgusting parts, the funny parts. And then Scores, the true story of Scores. The
strip club?
Yeah, the strip club.
Oh, wow. Lonnie?
Yeah, that guy I didn't know he was a mob informant.
What?
Yeah, it's a fucking great book.
Yeah, that sounds. I was gonna.
Well,
get
not
that one
by
on
choice.
audiobook, so now I know.
Hidden in plain view. But a mob informant.
Well, he didn't start out as a mob informant.
Yeah, if you're gonna run a strip club in New York like that, you got to be connected to the mob.
He got
somehow.
busted, right?
I mean, just to get permission.
Scores got shut down.
He had to turn informant.
Yeah, no, he didn't choose to be an informant. Let's get this straight. They went, you're going to go to prison with a bunch of mob guys. Or
the thing is, he didn't choose to be affiliated with the mob. Like, oh, you're going to open a strip club? Yeah, we're going to help.
Exactly.
Fuck. Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez, this isn't going to turn out.
Damned if I do and damned if I don't.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Can we keep the
It's a
salad bar?
fucking really good book. All three of those books. And then some fan sent me one. I always bring like a burner book. It's the history of drunkenness, a short history of drunkenness. Can't remember who, but it was kind of fun. Skimmed it. Had chapters like Prohibition era drunkenness, and I went through the fun parts. Old West drunkenness and how Old West saloons really were. And they didn't have those fucking doors. Those doors don't make any sense. Why would you have those?
How would you
doors?
lock it up?
Well,
and the dust would blow right in.
They had those doors in Alaska because the bars would never close in Kenai.
Oh, and it would never be winter?
No, that's what I always thought was weird. Is like, but they would have like an entryway, and they would just continue to go around. There's 3 bars in this one area in Kenai, and they would never close. And this was during the.
But they had the swinging doors. It was wide open.
Well, it was probably more of a swinging door that was completely. Wasn't the saloon
kitchen
doors.
Like they moved to the front.
Shower doors
with those little windows.
Yeah.
Hot coffee.
Mm-hmm. And Chad.
Yes, sir.
Chad is doing a full length. What is it? Is it fiction?
A nonfiction. I had Audible sent me to ask me to do an audition, and the author chose me to narrate his book. So I have my first job.
That's not your first job, but your first audition for a job, which is way more important.
It's the first job of that
where you got picked.
Yeah, exactly. Where I still had help inside track the whole way up, except to the point where the author got to choose. So yeah it's I'm excited about it.
It was a good feeling.
I'm still gonna do the other book that I was gonna do is The Mexican Ejection Seat by Sam Chaille. I told Sam a couple years ago I would do his book, not realizing how much of the production I was gonna have to do of it.
Yeah.
But I have to do that one still. But
that's more of a short story, though, right?
It's pretty short, but I have to do all the production on it, so it's taking me longer because I want to do it right. But this one is Audible, just like we did. I just read the book and send it to them, and they do it. So it's pretty exciting.
Excellent.
Good reason to get on the mailing list, because when that book comes out on Audible, then we'll definitely put it out on a mailing list.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good reasons to get on the mailing list, but I'm not gonna I'm not spilling some beans yet. But just be on the mailing list.
Yeah.
My LA's sold out for I think it's 11/12?
11/12
July,
the Comedy Store.
And then 14/15 is a Saturday, Sunday at the Sony Music Hall in New York City. And get tickets for that. I think there's tickets left. And hopefully afterwards, I think Skankfest is going on then.
That weekend?
Yeah, Skankfest is on. So hopefully I stay sober enough through my shows that we can hit Skankfest. And Bingo will be on the road with us. The new fittest and trimmest of Bingo. Bingo's been hitting the gym couple hours a day, doing her cardio and her weights. And she's got a personal trainer, and she's tan as a brown bean. Bingo is in the dunk tank for gay pride. I saw a video. I saw you in the background. working security.
Yeah.
He was support.
Or fixing the thing so she got dunked.
It was a kind of a ghetto dunk tank. She had to, the ladder to get out was PVC pipe hooked over the thing, so I had to hold the PVC pipe still so she didn't eat shit every time.
I threw 3 bullseyes and it didn't drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was a shitty built,
Well, remember when they tried to do Jello wrestling and the Jello didn't take, so it was just like sugar water?
Sugar water wrestling.
Kool-Aid wrestling.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to make a kiddie pool full of Jello. I mean, for it to be real Jello, it ended up being just semi-coagulated sugar water.
You have to chill it, right?
Yeah.
You have to use half as much water also.
Take that gum out of your mouth before you get anywhere near my microphone.
Wait, before you start,
Nicotine gum.
Skankfest is July 14th and 15th in Brooklyn.
Fantastic.
Yep. Big J.
Bingo will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another reason to be on the mailing list, Bingo's audiobook coming out in a couple weeks on Audible.
Yeah. All right.
Pre-order?
I like that Bingo got up and walked all the way across the room
No,
to
I
say,
just wanted to say I was wicked on mushrooms in the dunk tank. I was high as a fucking kite. I had a blast doing that.
Good. You must have been the
But I
same
was-
person that cleaned that water because it was
Oh my-
filthy.
And it was freezing cold in the morning, because it was the
you
only
called
rain.
me and you were almost crying at how much you didn't want to do it. And I
Well,
go,
I
how
sat-
cold could it be in fucking Bisbee in June? And I looked it up. It was like 73 degrees and rainy.
But I sat in a bathtub, a cold bathtub, and I was like, I can't do this.
You
I
rehearsed?
stood
You're like Houdini.
outside.
More ice.
David Blaine would do.
I'm ready.
I stood outside naked in the rain, and I was like, I couldn't do this. Then I was going to call my neurologist to have him say, no, you shouldn't be in a dunk tank today, goddammit. But I did it on mushrooms, and it was fucking fabulous.
The pregame, did you do mushrooms for that too?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's,
Probably,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
you
Apples
did
to
great.
apples.
It was amazing. It was
That
very
was
funny.
fun
It
shit.
really
My favorite
was.
part was when we were all filming. I by the way, spent 25, 30
I know,
bucks.
trying to dunk it.
Just trying. And Doug's like, Chaille nailed it first try. But that was like my 5th lineup.
I only saw a
Lion.
15-second clip.
But I love Bingo gets dunked by this little kid, and she pops up out of the thing like a seal or an otter, like looks over the edge and goes, "You motherfucker!" to this like 8-year-old kid.
She had asked me around the back because people were coming by, and I was like, heckle, talk
Yeah.
shit to
Yeah,
people
yeah.
to get them to buy tickets. And then at one point she comes up, she goes,
Not
can
to
I say
8-year-old.
fuck? And I was like, yeah, I think you can say fuck. I had no idea there was an 8-year-old kid on the other side of
That
the
she was
dunk
pointing
tank.
at. You knew him, but
Yeah, but Chaille's last round and his last ball, I was just like, throw this one for Stanhope. And then he just nailed it. That's the first one he got me on.
It'd have been funny to put your little face, Stanhope's face on the target.
oh, that would have I would have hit a
Was that
first
you
try.
that was with me with the kid at fucking Morning's Cafe? We're called Impractical Jokers? Who was with me?
That was me.
Oh, that was you. Yeah, this fucking little rotten fucking kid. He's probably like 10.
Yeah, and he's just full of himself.
One of those.
I live in Vegas.
Yeah, he's what they would call precocious,
Yeah.
which means he's a little prick.
He was a little tubby,
smart.
too.
We
A
know
little
what it means.
tubby.
Smart for his own good.
Wore glasses.
Yeah, walked up and said,
Prescription
yeah, prescription.
Oakleys.
Yeah.
And we're like, wow, you.
He's someone's kid that worked there because he was helping, and then he came over to our table and he said, "Do you watch the Impractical Jokers?" Someone must have said I'm a comedian, and I go, "Yeah, they're friends of mine." He goes, "No, they're not. You're lying." I go, "Yeah, which one do you want me to call?" I pull out my phone.
I'll show him.
Please don't say Murr. Please don't say Murr.
He said, "Joe Gatto." I go, "All right, I don't know Joe or Murr's phone numbers. You got Sal or Q?" Went with Sal. I call Sal straight to voicemail. I call Q straight to voicemail. Like, you motherfuckers, you let me down. I tweeted on my phone at them. You won't answer your phone when this 10-year-old prick is calling me a fucking liar, you ass. And then Q called back and I go, there you go. Talk. And the kid took the phone for like 5 minutes.
and was
I'm like, all right,
wandering
you
back
get a
by the
hello. You
bathroom.
don't get a whole dissertation. Give me that phone, you fucking prick.
What did Q say?
Cute. No, it was Sal that called back.
Oh, Sal that called back. Okay, so what did Sal have to say?
Come on, you know he loves to do that shit.
Yeah, I do.
It was really funny, but the kid tried to bust Doug's balls.
Yeah,
and Doug took it so personal.
Yeah.
I was like, "Come on, Doug, just eat your egg and your piece of toast. Let's get out of here."
Anyway, back to let's do a commercial for merch. Oh, do we have exciting merch? Do we have that, or is that just I'm just looking at you, Chad. The new Doug Stanhope Celebrity Death Pool shirts.
No, we don't sell those.
Yeah, but I can give him a plug.
Absolutely, absolutely.
DougStanhopeCelebrityDeathPool.com, DSCDP.com. But we finally, after years of you complaining and emailing and whining about it, we got not one, but 2 Chad Shank shirts. We have the Chad Shank Diplomat shirt, and then the Chad Shank, I call it the Beard of Bees head. With the description of a shank is I forget how the dictionary definition of a prison shank on the back. It's very cool. We have, I don't think we've even mentioned this on a podcast yet. We have Pop Off Vodka Presents An Evening with Doug Stanhope. It's been released digitally. You can get it on Vimeo or some shit. I don't know. But you can get the physical copy. I'm getting ahead of the hipster trend of vinyl. And this is only available physically on VHS. And only 500 units. You get that. You buy your own VHS player if you don't still have yours. And I know a lot of you do.
Or your parents got it for you.
Each are numbered.
Hit the Salvation
Numbered
Army.
and signed. Numbered and signed.
They're numbered and signed. And
like a litho.
Yeah. You can watch it digitally on Vimeo and then have that as a souvenir because who the fuck else has a special on VHS? Just me.
We actually hooked it up to play here. And it is kind of fun to see the tracking. Like you remember that whole thing where like it had to like sync up and it was fun. And it's I never saw it. I saw it live and I don't remember a fucking thing because we were all running around production and I actually got to sit there and watch it. It fucking looks good in here. We should be filming more shit in here.
I remember having a blast live, so I'd like to see it as well because I haven't seen it since.
Well, that's another reason to be on the mailing list because when we start doing shows here in my retirement for however long that lasts, we'll be inviting small groups of people only on the mailing list and private shows. If I want to go out and work out new material, ain't going to be listed. Mailing list only. Small rooms.
Have we talked about the new one?
Talk about it.
The new Killer Termites t-shirt, the Bisbee shirt.
Oh, yeah.
By artwork by Jim Ether. Yeah, that's the new one, and that's out. Fantastic. That's available now. Great. So I think that you know what? All this came out while you were in the UK, so we haven't had a commercial.
Yeah, I'm out of the loop.
Yeah,
and get my fucking book, the Audible version.
That came out while we were in Canada.
Oh, hey, thanks to the people who are leaving positive reviews on the Audible site because that helps me get jobs.
Yeah, people love your voice.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
They got to hold me and go, do you know Chad Shank? I go, yeah, pretty. I want him to do my answering machine.
So, DougStanhope.com/store. Just click on the fucking button that says store. Keep us in business. If I sell that Pacer, if I can't find a garage for it, I'm just going to sell it because I don't want it rotting in the sun. Maybe I'll do a one-off 8-track tape of my act. You could get Pop-Off Vodka.
God, how would we do that?
Well, it's easy. We got to get reel to reel and just record it. No, then take apart.
It's easy.
And then take apart an 8-track. No, somebody in this town, a 70s
Becker
town.
has a reel to reel in his fucking storage hoard somewhere.
Not for the 2 weeks Becky's back, I don't.
All right, so please buy merch. Thank you very much. Now back to the podcast.
You want to do something?
It's just going back to the podcast.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, there were 2 fun people I ran into over there. Jonathan, you know the Brit from...
Absolutely.
Do some Jonathan.
Oh, shit.
You have to practice.
Yeah, I'd have to have to think about it in my head. I don't remember.
I have his squirrel killing gun.
He was in Bisbee for
he's
8
been
months.
on the podcast a bunch. He just moved away, but his dad lives in Birmingham, and asked if he came to the show if I could say hello to him, and of course. And he came backstage before the show, and I was out smoking, and the manager came and said, "Your friend is in the green room." So I walked in. He's talking to Hennigan, and I just walked in. I gave him a big hug. I had my drink in my left hand, and I gave him a big hug with my right, and he had this massive goiter the size
Oh my God.
half a fucking small cantaloupe on his back, just spongy, and I grabbed it, and there's an old Carlin bit about
Like you palmed it? Like you
I
had
gave
hit
him
it
a
perfectly?
big hug, and my hand
Wow.
is cupping right on top of this.
You got the whole world in your hand. You got the whole world.
And it was there's a Carlin bit where he is something to the effect of, "Do you ever go to shake someone's hand and they only have half a hand?" And it was one of those where I can't back off. I have to commit to
Own
the
it.
fucking the goiter. Speaking of goiters, Kenny and I. Well, we'll get back to your goiter.
We're waiting for that.
Yeah, we'll wait for that. The other one, Duders, Johnny's assistant, a friend of ours, came to London.
Oh, really?
With his gal who got quite drunk and was hilarious, and he kept apologizing, texting me afterwards, "Sorry about my drunk wife." I go, "She was fucking hilarious." Those are the kind of drunks you want to have around, not the yelling from the balcony having conversation fucks. Some people can handle their alcohol.
What made her hilarious?
She was just bubbly and fun. I'm trying to think of who's a drunk we know like that.
But in the audience, she was bubbly and fun?
Oh, she was fine in the audience.
Okay. Because you compared her to a heckler who's in the audience.
We set up, because it's fucking Duders, we set up a full bar. I don't know what they drink, so we get small bottles, but she drank the entire bottle of whiskey before the show. So, yeah, it's not it wasn't a handle by any means, but it was a lot. And then, I guess I drank after the show. I'll try gin.
After a bottle of whiskey is the perfect time to try gin.
Yeah, let's do it.
But Johnny was playing over there with the vampires, so he was doing like Birmingham and Manchester, and we had the same Sunday off. But I had planned. This is the video you're talking about. I had planned. They have the Yotel, which actually used to be co-owned by the Yo Sushi people. And it's like Woody Allen sleeper motels. It's basically a space age train sleeping car where you have a toilet and a shower and a bed that you can, if there weren't a glass partition with the shower, you could touch the toilet and the shower from the bed, and you have a TV in your feet. It's like
everything's all dimly lit in fuchsia. And I assume that you could change or suggest what color it could be. It just seemed like that kind of place.
Yeah. It's just,
lime green, please.
That tiny. And if it would be a claustrophobic nightmare if there wasn't a door right there. Like the door makes all the difference.
Or sushi running through the middle of the bathroom.
I was hoping for that. But I'd stayed there
Sushi
once
in my
before.
bathtub.
Well, where do you want it?
So it's not on a train. It's a
That's
hotel.
all that was missing is the rocking motion of a train sleeping car. And I was so looking forward to it because I'd stayed there once before, like 7 years ago. And when Hennigan was flying directly to Amsterdam from the Bath gig, and I go, no, I'm going to go to Heathrow and stay overnight there because I love that hotel. And that's when Duders goes, "Hey, Johnny, I'd love to see you. You have the day off in London." And I go, "Oh, no, I'll be in Amsterdam." But that was before the story came out. Like, everyone's seen that story, how Johnny squandered his $650 million fortune. But if it was just a few days before, I could have said, "Yeah, I'm busy," because he doesn't have money anymore. I would have loved to send that text.
Hollywood Vampires touring in the UK still. They're going to be in Munich, Frankfurt, Austria, Switzerland, and Italy right through to July 8th. So
there you go.
Yeah.
I don't think they need a plug from my fucking podcast.
I think it's funny though that he keeps getting in the news cycle. A fan takes a picture of him and he looks like he hasn't been eating cheeseburgers, and it's fucking shocking. He keeps getting in it.
There was one picture I saw where I had to fucking call Duders is it? He's like, it's just a bad picture.
Is he
'Cause
alive
the
or-
next day, you look at pictures of the next day, you go,
Yeah.
either he has a fantastic makeup artist or that was just a shitty picture. Anyway, bingo. All right, let's, it flew back from Amsterdam, like 40 total hours, because I had to go Amsterdam to Heathrow, go through their customs, 600 people. I didn't count them all. I counted 60 people in one lane and then times it by 10 lanes. Yeah, 600 fucking people. It took me 2 hours to get through customs, to get to the next terminal by train, to get back.
You don't
through
have
security.
global entry?
Not in their country, you dumb
It
dick.
says global, though. It should be everywhere. That's the globe.
I've been approved.
Fucking false advertising.
And then the flight to L.A., I don't remember this at all, Bingo, but you were saying that when I landed in L.A., I was so shit-faced that I was going to my gate and I was on the phone with you.
Titarded.
You tell me this, because you told me this.
Titarded.
Was I doing the retarded voice or the cerebral palsy voice? I do a great cerebral palsy, and I used to use that to pre-board on Southwest.
I used it for parking.
You did a full-on retard voice, and then when you found out you were at the wrong gate, you were like, "Oh, sorry," and just turned around.
I was
and
talking
walked
to
off.
you though.
Yeah,
I was playing up
doing
like
it.
You started it
people.
in the Delta Lounge where you were talking retarded.
Oh, really? That's the second time I've embarrassed myself in the Delta Lounge, and they remember me.
You're out of pins.
Oh, I gave them all my vintage Delta pins.
Yeah.
I suck up a lot in that lounge because last time was when
you tried to make it you tried to go deep on how you were retarded. So I was like, no, I saw him way back in the bathrooms. This guy's really retarded. You just kept, and you got to the gate. And and they're like, sir, the gate's been changed. It's Honolulu. And then you broke and go, wait, this is not, we're going to Honolulu here? And you fucking turned and left. You were retarded up until it got serious.
When I do my full cerebral palsy walk
Yeah.
to pre-board, I would get right past the ticket lady because she's looking the other way. You're going down the ramp, and then I just start strolling.
The thing where you kick your heels in the air.
No, it's like the usual suspects.
Yeah.
No, so he starts walking down the street. Yeah,
I verbal kented all the way to the ticket lady, and then I would kick up my heels on the jetway.
Your gate had been changed, and you were acting as if you were going to Tucson. And then when you saw that it was serious, you just broke and was like, "Wait, I'm not going to Honolulu.
Yeah.
Where do I go?"
Well, I made it to Tucson.
Yep.
We slept, got home after a 40-hour drunk. Got back here and then decided to kick off the party again for World Cup at 7 a.m.
What could go wrong?
Well, poker.
Yeah. You decided to throw a poker game at what? What time was it?
It was late. Yeah.
You started calling people going, hey, you interested in poker? I might not be up, but come over for poker. So the poker game now goes.
It was
full
dark
swing.
out.
Yeah.
I was motherfucking
not.
you, and I was motherfucking you, and anyone else that was at the table because I went out and saw that mess. Mm-hmm. Actually, it was 2 days later because after that 17-hour drunk.
Poker was the day after you came home. We came home, drank that night, and then in the morning you're like, "Come up to World Cup."
Oh, okay.
And then
I thought that was the day we get home from.
No, we had drank that night,
right.
and then the next morning we started at the 9:00 games, and I came up here because you were alone. And, and then I would drink so much until like 2:00, and I went down to get something, and I go, "I'm just gonna lay back here for." I was out cold. I don't remember how long until Tracy finally came down, and I go, "I'm just gonna be here for a few more minutes. I'll be fine." 10:00 rolls around and you guys are all playing poker now. And I'm like, I want no part of that.
I was motherfucking whoever was at the table because after that drunk, then now I'm completely physically.
I don't know how you stayed awake.
And I got one of Bingo's Seroquels, which are the hardest knockout drug. And I got on the couch over at the Quiet House and I stayed on that couch from about noon to 5:30 the next morning, and
that's day 3 and 4.
Only got up, and then I came back and saw the wreckage was still here, and well, not all of it, but I had just bought these fucking weird the Delta playing cards from probably the 60s. It said Arizona Delta Airlines. I buy some weird vintage Delta shit. And I'm like, they were waiting for me when I got back. And I'm like, what motherfucker opened my I just got these. Who would open fucking obvious antique fucking cellophane wrapped? And then Chaille told me it was me.
No, I didn't. I motherfucked with you going, who the fuck?
Did, because you said, no, use them. And we tried them and they were so warped. We go, Gum Senior can't possibly deal with these cards because they didn't come apart. I mean, I know cards.
Yeah, they're from the 60s.
So then Tracy goes, I'll go get a deck. So I set them off. I go, why did we open these? There's no way these were going to be usable cards, but they are cool. But what you should do is get a frame, put it all in black, and then put the cards, one facing forward, one back, one forward, one back.
I don't have that many walls or that kind of time. And I don't have any money left after playing poker with you guys for fucking 19 hours. I remember Kenny has the goiter we were referencing before. It's not nearly as bad as Jonathan's dad, who I hope Jonathan's dad doesn't listen to the podcast.
Well, Kenny's isn't in an arm hug reach area.
Yeah. Unless
Kenny's is a walnut.
He's Helen Keller reach.
Kenny's is a
You
fibrous.
have two noses, sir.
We assume it's fibrous underneath, but we never know what could blow out of that in a Tosh.0 moment. But
it's like touching a marshmallow. I mean,
it's actually pretty hard. And the thing is, it's right where an artery could be. So that's why Becky wouldn't cut it off.
Yeah.
But
she would have happily done it.
Chad pulled out his knife and goes, "This is sharp." And he goes, "Oh, wow. Yeah, it's really sharp. Look, I just cut my hand open. That's how sharp it is, just opening it."
And then Stanhope drags it across his hand and arms going, "It's not sharp."
Yeah, that's here.
Yeah.
That's where it wasn't sharp. That was
the cuts on the back of your hand.
And then I tried to, and then Kenny, I got a razor blade eventually.
Yeah.
Someone did.
Yeah.
Somebody said, and they're clean. They're for cleaning houses.
Scraping windows.
So I tried to get that pretty hard,
Jesus.
and you yelped like a little puppy. So I had to show you that it didn't hurt, and I started carving your name into my arm right here. I only got the K part. I don't know if I stopped or you stopped me.
This was busy during your World Series of Poker run. He was carving his name between hands.
I missed all that.
You can still make it Slayer.
I missed a lot of river cards.
You did win at a disproportional amount in the middle there. You really did. You were probably up 200.
I can't imagine.
No, you were very close.
Well,
you couldn't lose.
You
And
were.
We were going. Yeah, I mean he went to bed.
No, he walked away because I think you were just done. And then
Well, I took
you had
it downer
you had a
to try
newbie.
to force myself out of the game.
You had a newbie in the game, and you're like, I got no patience for telling someone what to play.
Oh, was that backdoor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you came over with little Mikey and I'm like, how are you fucking still up? It didn't. I thought after I passed out,
Sense
that you
memory.
Yeah, it could be. So
I remember walking.
I call it the acid test. It was a very interesting because flushes look amazingly different when you're on acid.
Oh, that's right. There was a lot of acid going around, and I was confused as to why I was still up and thought maybe someone had dosed me, but that wasn't the case.
when I got the pictures at about 1 a.m. with you and Becker and Tracy laying on the dirty ramp going up into the Van Dyke, I just assumed everyone was tripping.
Yeah, I think I was the only one not.
Yeah, but it was still amazing.
Nods all around.
Yeah.
I was the only one not tripping.
That's why I missed all that stuff because I had to leave because I did. So as soon as I got here, I got offered that. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. But then we took a motorcycle ride to go get ice. And then the acid started kicking in while we were on the motorcycle ride. So we took a little bit of a longer ride. And then as soon as we got back, it was kicking in. And it was, want a second one? And I was like, sure. And that was probably not a good idea.
Welcome home.
Felt like I was tripping when we're all laying on that dirty ramp.
You were probably just catching the vibe from everybody else tripping.
I get that.
Yeah,
I get
but you
that,
were also
contact highs from trippers where you just remembering tripping. Like, I feel like you feel.
But you also went to bed 3 times and came back out and said, back in. I'm back in. And you slept $20 off it. We're
I'm
like,
all in with a pair of 5s.
Me going to bed was probably me going to search through my bag for cash. I hadn't unpacked yet. I know I have American cash in there that I didn't use in the UK.
yeah, at one point you tried to use hotel soap. And we were like, yeah, that's no good.
I don't think that
No
ever happened.
good. No good.
Hey, we got a bunch of stuff that got sent to us. You want to go over that right now? Do you got anything
Chad,
else?
Let's see.
Talk about the Bible that someone made.
I know this is one of our Twitter people that's not Mopar Head, that doesn't be it. And I can't remember his fucking name, but he gave us 2 engraved stolen Bibles. Or engraved. Oh, yeah? Bye, Kenny. Go spend my money wisely.
Hey, I already spent that money.
But it's engraved photos on the back. There's a Stanhope one with our picture and a Chaille one, and engraved on the front. So those will go in the eBay yard sale. We still don't know. Probably August, I'm guessing. August, September.
Well,
we'll see.
No sooner than end of July, but probably August.
Yeah, I get the.
Your slate's clear after that.
Yeah, I go on vacation on the Amtrak for 10, 11 days at the end of July, and then after that, we'll figure it out.
Ray and Stephanie bought land in McNeil, Arizona. Where's that?
It's close.
North?
Nearby, but
All right.
Like 45 minutes.
Yeah,
or
so they're from the White Mountains in New Hampshire. They sent me a little jug of maple syrup.
They actually
Well, they sent it to
me, and I
everyone,
gave it to you.
but I'm the one who'll make the pancakes.
Yeah.
And they hope
Gluten-free, I hope.
Actually, yes, I can do that. They hope to see you around town in Bisbee.
Safeway. You'll always
Yeah.
see me at Safeway. I'm in town.
Public areas.
Buying cantaloupe on sale.
And discount meat.
There's Ronald Shampy-Tinton.
Yeah.
And we were looking at the name, and Doug's like, I go, do you recognize it? He goes, I'm trying to see where the joke is in the name. Ronald Shampy-Tinton sent a bonnet
No,
dryer.
that's who he sent it to. That's not who it is. That's who he.
Oh, here. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It was.
We go. This has got to be some. Yeah.
But it's a one of those 1950s bonnets that you put on your bouffant, and then you hook a hairdryer up to it.
Oh, microwave
Yeah.
popcorn basket.
Kind of like a Jiffy Pop for your head.
It's a deep cut. He's talking about me and Tom Konopka doing the fraud telemarketing, and one of the home sauna was the giveaway.
That's right.
It's a
The
full bag that you
Yeah.
hook up a hairdryer to. You
then-
won that, and
and-
you only have to buy $500 worth of pens.
It's like driving through the desert with your windows up.
And then Chad and I both got envelopes, and we got 12 Bibles, hotel Bibles, from Mosher,
from
Maryland.
Mosher from Maryland.
Yeah.
I
In
like
advance?
that. That's $100. That
Set $100 in cash.
that is
Mosher.
fantastic, Mosher. Thank you very
Yep.
much.
Ditto here too. I got my money to put in for the
Chaille
pool.
Chaille's got it too.
I could change it. I could just change the name on the envelope and hand
The
it to the
FIFA.
winner. FIFA winner.
FIFA money.
That is very much appreciated.
Thank you,
and
Mosher.
needed. Thank you.
And the Bibles. We're stacking
And,
up.
someone sent me some guy sent me a bunch of old vintage airline stickers, and
I thought those were really cool. I don't know
Yeah.
I don't know where he got those, or if he's making them, or what the deal
they came
is.
from China, so I don't know who sent
Well,
them. But
most things do.
What's weird is they don't
might
have China
ordered them off
Air.
Amazon or eBay when I was drunk, but no. It says Doug Stanhope, my favorite comedian.
Yeah, that sounds like
That's
you. You were drunk.
and someone sent me a CD of music. I'm assuming Cousin Amy Deluxe.
How do we play that?
OTSB. That's a CDR, so I guess in a laptop.
Is there? I don't.
I don't know. I'm
I don't know.
sure there's technology out
I
there.
can play an 8-track before I can play a CDR right now.
Fuck if I know. Might just be porn. I don't know. So, anything else? We cover everything. We covered the UK. Thank you, all the nice people that had to sit beside fucking douchebags. There weren't that many douchebags, but it only takes a few.
You did have polite people responding
Hugely polite people.
about how they also experienced the douchebag. Like there was a parallel experience with you. It's like they know, oh, this guy must have drank early, and that's the person sitting in front of them or laughing inappropriately at like not the punchline, but like the setup, and then it's like, all right, someone brought their girlfriend.
Well, that's why those 2 New York shows are the end of my career until I decide, because I'm at the end. I have a set now. I can film this now. And the thought of having to write a new set is so fucking I'd just that moment of after New York is done where I go, my life is open, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'll probably chicken out and go back to stand-up comedy because it's what I know. But in the meantime, yeah, I'd like to put a lot more effort into this podcast. Maybe we get some cameras in here. We definitely film shows in here. I got a list of things we could possibly do.
Chaille's eyebrows went up. That's the first.
We've been talking about this for a while.
I suspect you're going to be like one of those truckers who retires and then he turns his truck into a camper and then he drives around the country.
International harvester
truck.
We are definitely going to do some fucking traveling.
But we
might do some surprise shows, and you won't know about them if you're not on the mailing list. DougStanhope.com.
We will be recording at the Comedy Store with Brett Erickson. He's now working with the Comedy Store with their podcast division. So,
oh yeah, we'll be podcasting from LA and possibly New York if Hennigan brings some gear. But if I show up at Skankfest, I'll just crash there.
If you do Skankfest, yeah.
Just we'll see what kind of life I have left in me. Check my pulse. Send me to Skankfest if you feel a beat. All right, we'll be right back after this.
This is Bingo. You are listening to the Doug Stanhope Podcast.
Okay, it's been a long time since we did Chad Shank and the police beat. And Chad was restless to get back out and discuss the rising rate of crime in these precarious times in Bisbee. Chad, what do you got for us?
Doug, a cow was seen walking around at the end of Black Knob.
Black Knob, you! That's our street. And it can't be Bingo. She's been hitting the gym. Go ahead, Chad.
I thought you had more on that.
I have no word of whether the cow was caught or not. It may still be walking around. Someone called to complain about neighbors creating a disturbance with noise from lovemaking.
That was definitely me and Bingo. That was certainly us.
I thought it was.
Was it from years ago?
I thought it was Derek and Bree.
That may have been related to the cat.
Oh, Derek wasn't there at the time.
Is that a cow?
It's coming from inside the house. That's impossible. I'm not even home.
In what may be an ongoing feud, a man called to complain that his neighbor had posted a sign in his yard with a picture of him and his wife.
I don't understand that one. Is it a picture of the neighbor? The guy put a sign of himself and his wife, or the
him?
Yeah, because it just says himself.
It says him and his wife, right?
Posted a picture in his yard, or posted a sign in his yard with a picture of him and his wife.
The neighbor complained, but is it the neighbor's him? Like, what? Is it the old joke? Hey, you got any naked pictures of your wife? You want to buy some?
If he put just like a happy picture of the man and wife in his yard, you wouldn't think he would call the cops.
Is there any chance?
But if he put a picture of him banging his wife in the yard, that'd probably piss him off.
Well, if I had a neighbor I hated and I just posted a photograph I took of them in my yard, just like, why is you can't have a picture of me and my wife in your yard. That's
free country.
Really subtle.
Free country.
Fuck with.
Get off my lawn.
I like that.
Could it be their anniversary?
Could be. Maybe this is a romantic thing. We're taking a totally different
Maybe
angle
they're
on it.
Ugly as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
That'll keep the dogs out of the yard.
What I think is the neighbor called.
Oh, so this is a related incident, possibly. Police are looking at this as a related incident.
Early signs may lead to that.
I think it's a copycat. But
A man complained that his neighbor is constantly harassing him and his wife, including placing 2 gravestones pointed at their house. He said the neighbor had threatened to break into their house and drag them out.
I guess to the graves? How do you point a gravestone at someone's house?
This is like
And
aggravated
who is he
assault.
dragging out? Is he going to the neighbor's house because his wife is in there and dragging them out?
This is one of the things that we're going to do in the upgraded Doug Stanhope 2.0 podcast when I'm retired, is do some investigative journalist and find these people and find these gravestones and drag them out and make them explain.
Police work is hard.
It's very dangerous out there.
What the fuck? Who's putting gravestones in? These are the styrofoam, right?
Well,
these are the things you do for Halloween that you buy at the spirit store. No one went out and bought marble gravestones to put in their yard.
I feel like you're underestimating the people of Bisbee.
Yeah, you got to commit to the bit.
A woman reported a suspicious person in the alley of Turquoise Street who was carrying a vacuum.
Yeah, it's getting tougher and tougher to be a rainbow salesman.
It's a mayoral candidate, Cynthia. She wants to clean up this town.
To be fair, he might have not driven to the garage sale like I do on multiple occasions.
That is weird when you happen upon a garage sale while walking.
Well, you see me. I got a record player, a portable record player. I'm carrying like
and
a suitcase down the street.
That thing that looks like an umbrella with none of the material.
Yeah.
That's like a clothes dryer. Yeah, it looks weird walking down the street.
What else you got, Chad?
A woman requested that the canine unit locate and remove a cat that had been meowing all night.
A canine unit for a cat.
Well, who would you call? The mouse?
The fucking animal control person. Yeah, I got a mouse. Can you send the cat unit?
I think she wanted it removed permanently.
I often send woodpeckers for my termite problems.
You call the city?
Do you know that song about the old lady swallowed a fly?
No.
Oh.
But we have a bottle of rum for it.
No,
We just John Taffered the bar and found some kind of sweet rum that had about 800 tiny little fruit flies in it, and that's why I hate your little green toppers. What's wrong with the fucking cat?
No, that's not it. That had no topper on it for a while, and a green topper was put on it. That's why that happened.
To keep the bugs in?
To keep the bugs in.
Why, we don't left the green topper off. I'm calling the police. Back to you, Chad.
A man complained about a skunk being a nuisance in his yard. It digs holes and smells, he said.
That sounds like this setup to a joke. Yeah. What digs holes and smells?
Your wife.
Maybe that
Lesbians.
was on the.
I dig holes.
That was very good. Very nice.
Maybe that was on the sign of the couple in the yard. What digs holes and smells? It's like the couple.
Headstones and pictures of the couple.
It's a whole fucking thing, man.
Shit.
It all comes together.
A man was. A man was seen shaking a woman and then chasing her into Safeway. The couple claimed they were just play fighting.
And if, bingo, you say anything differently, I'm going to fuck you till you sound like a cow. It was play fighting, and you fell down those stairs.
We were play fucking.
Now we're play shopping.
Do you mean they misquoted Doug? They said play fighting?
Finally,
A
man was seen swimming in someone's cistern and was suspected of trying to get into people's houses. The caller said that if he sees him again, he's going to shoot him.
It's like trout in a barrel.
What's a cistern?
Yeah, a cistern is it's a water collection device.
For like horses.
All right.
That's what the old trough is for horses.
All right.
How do you
The
get into
concrete
someone's
well.
But do you break in the house first or you get the cistern first? I mean, I assume.
Depends if you ran into the skunk.
You do it afterwards.
make a clean break?
That's a weird way to enter a house.
Yeah. Just the idea.
Through a 1.5 inch pipe is what I'm trying to say. To get into a house.
That was it. But Bingo says she wants to, instead of closing on a song, Bingo wants to close on a joke. A Bingo classic.
We can do a joke and a song. I don't give a shit. Did you hear about the semicolon that broke the law?
No, I have not heard about that. That is, was that in the latest police beat?
It might have been.
What happened?
He was given 2 consecutive sentences.
We're going to close on a song. Wah, 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 wah. Thanks for listening to the podcast. See you in LA and New York.
1, 2, 3, 7, yeah! Right on, baby. The priest is here, and the casket is ready. Body inside looks nice and steady. Let's play it for the man. For the last time, play it for the man. Farewell, play it for the man. For the last time, play it for the man. Praise the Lord, and we got to go on with the funeral party. 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 Yeah! All right. Now the priest is talking, and the casket starts to move. Everybody's crying. We all got the groove. Let's play it for the man. For the last time, play it for the man. Farewell, play it for the man. For the last time, play it for the man. Praise the Lord and